3 substitute appearances, 3 years of bitter legal disputes, and a settlement worth millions. This is the story of the strangest Premier League transfer. Stranger still, because the player involved never even played so much as a minute of Premier League football. Jean-Kevin Augustin was once one of the most coveted teenagers in football. He joined Paris Saint-Germain as a child, represented the French national team at every youth level, and in 2016 was voted the best player at the Under-19 European Championship, as well as being the competition's top scorer. No mean feat, given that the French side also included Kylian Mbappe. Augustin had a big reputation, and in 2017 earned a big money move to RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga. A versatile, dynamic, and skillful forward, he seemed perfectly made for modern football. And in the beginning, his time in Germany was also successful, as he played regularly for Ralf Hasenhüttl's Leipzig and scored 9 league goals during his first league season. But by the beginning of his 3rd season, and having reportedly rejected lucrative moves to the Premier League, Augustin's career began to veer off course. Hasenhüttl had, in the past, accused him of playing within himself. And when the Austrian was succeeded by Julian Nagelsmann, Augustin's days at Leipzig were numbered. He joined AS Monaco in Liga on loan, with the French club maintaining the option to make the move permanent if it was successful. But as it turned out, Monaco never had to make that choice. In January of 2020, Leipzig terminated the agreement in order that Augustin could move on loan to Leeds United instead, then in the English Championship. The deal struck included a clause that meant that Augustin would join Leeds permanently if they won promotion to the Premier League, and it would be for a fixed fee of around £18 million. And additionally, according to reporting by The Athletic, with the basis of a contract already discussed in advance. And that is where events took a very strange direction. Augustin wouldn't be much of a factor at Leeds. While they were under the management of Marcelo Bielsa at the time, and Augustin clearly suited his highly transitional football, he failed to adapt to both Bielsa's exacting standards and his style of play. In total, Augustin would play just 48 minutes for Leeds, scoring no goals in 3 substitute appearances and recording just a single shot. So, despite being expected to be a major force in Leeds' push for promotion, Augustin was of little influence. Nevertheless, Leeds did actually go up, which, under the terms of the loan agreement, obliged them to sign him permanently. But this was no ordinary season. 2019-20 was heavily disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic, and after football's resumption, Leeds would have to wait until July to confirm their promotion. And this made things complicated. The agreement mandating that they make Augustin's transfer permanent upon promotion actually expired in June 2020. It's a standard across much of the industry, with almost all player contracts expiring on the 30th of June each year. In response, Leipzig requested that Leeds alter the contract to reflect the delay in the season, but Leeds refused. And from their perspective, with promotion won after the expiration of the clause, they were no longer obligated to pay the agreed £18 million. Leipzig launched legal action, claiming that Leeds were acting against the spirit of the agreement, and filed a challenge to FIFA. In the meantime, despite still being under contract at Leipzig and theoretically obliged to become a Leeds United player, Jean-Kevin Augustin continued his career at a 3rd club, joining Nantes on a free transfer after the teams between whom he was caught, neither of which wanted him, gave their permission. At the end of the season, in June 2021, FIFA ruled in Leipzig's favour, ordering Leeds to pay the fee in full, but with another twist. In August, Leeds appealed that decision to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. The 2 clubs argued their case in March 2022, and 8 months later, just before the Qatar World Cup began in November, CAS announced that they were siding with Leipzig, ruling in their written reasons that the purchase obligation for Augustin had been triggered at the end of the 2019-20 season, even though the season had concluded later than expected due to the disruption caused by the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. These were on the hook for the entire £18 million, although by December they'd reached an amicable agreement and settled on a fee of 15.5. A discount, perhaps, but still a fee that equated to over £300,000 for each minute that Augustin played for Leeds. And incredibly, the saga wasn't over. Following the judgment, Augustin himself brought a case to FIFA's Dispute Resolution Centre over the issues of unpaid wages from Leeds. Again, FIFA found partially against the club and ordered Leeds to pay Augustine £24.5 million, which would equate to the full payment of a 5-year contract with wages of around £90,000 per week. In total, it would take the cost of Augustine to around the £40 million mark for Leeds. Alternatively, to a cool £833,000 for each minute spent on the pitch. The case is ongoing. While FIFA issued their ruling in April 2023, Leeds have again appealed to CAS, and there remains no timeline for their judgment. And while his career has never quite reached its pre-Leeds heights, Jean-Kevin Augustin is now playing for FC Basel in Switzerland.